Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading for Aries energy today. I'm going to have intuitive messages and then we're going to pull some cards for you. Hopefully it's going to be a bit of a shorter reading, save you all some time, but I always say that and it never happens. If you like the story time readings, they will be back soon. I am just switching it up and doing something a little bit different for those of you who like shorter readings. So yeah, let's roll with it and see how this plays out. Funny I'm saying let's roll with it, like the term roll. I get the feeling that somebody's been performing a role in some sort of way, maybe like an actor on a stage or playing gigs, or I don't know, just having a bit of a public facing character and a private character. So I'm just going to run through the notes and I'll kind of like go through and explain what I've been getting for you. I've been getting a bit of a run over of some of the themes from last week. Like with the oceans and the boats and the motorcycle guys back and yeah, there's a bit of a flow through the readings at the moment. So I think Pisces had this thing about like being out dancing, and you are coming through with some kind of celebration of event. Like it's like a launch party or a wrap party or like um, some kind of milestone being celebrated. It feels officey, but it feels like a big office event, like in a, like a big office event, but you will go to a club or something like that, or you will go to a hotel. There could be a pool there. I was kind of seeing people ending up in the pool, whether there was supposed to be or not. I got the impression that maybe not. I also had this feeling of like something on my wrist. So it did, in the end, I was like, because I was feeling it, I was thinking, what is that? What does that feel like? And I thought it feels a bit like handcuffs. So also some of you could have gone to a stag do or a hen do. I'm thinking more stag because again I've seen a stag, but it doesn't have to be that. Some of you could be performers in some sort of way. So I was kind of getting like arty type, like arty, sexy dancing. So maybe something like burlesque or belly dancing or like professional pole dancing. I was kind of getting that song Cellophane by FKA Twigs, where she's kind of doing the very arty style of like professional pole dancing. So I feel like some of you could have gone to an event where they've had very sexy performers in some sort of way, or you are a sexy performer in some sort of way. But I'm really getting kind of like like I think Pisces had snake hips, like kind of very snaky dancing. So I even saw, because I get things from multiple sources, it's like I start to notice parallels and things jumping out at me just in my day-to-day life, and this is kind of one of the ways that I get the messages. So America's Got Talent, I think, or one of those kind of shows. A video, sorry, that's my phone. A video popped up. It could be confirmation for somebody. Perhaps some of you could be applying to America's Got Talent. But there was a video that popped up just a few days ago. So I assume I don't watch it. It's like an American show. I don't really watch much TV, but I say that I watch a lot of Netflix. But it's this group, like a dance troupe. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not be, so I'll just kind of explain it from my point of view. A big dance troupe, and they do, I can't remember where they were from. It was kind of like Middle Eastern, I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they were doing this like all the arms, like when you will stand in a row and like put your arms out like differently, like almost like Shiva, right? And I know that's not Middle East, by the way, like just I'm explaining the video itself, like not the history of dance. Like they kept on moving like this very like snake-like movement, like all of them moving together in this kind of like snake-like way. So really seen that quite a lot. I was getting this thing about, again, like putting on a performance, but it being very dramatic. So it was like, again, I can't work out if this is something that somebody's doing like on telly, like they're an actor, or like they're on stage in some sort of way, or they just live their life in this really dramatic way. But it was coming through with, Alejandro by Lady Gaga, where she's like, no, Alejandro, let me go. So it's like, I'm sorry to do the accent, I'm just, I don't know, it's fun. I don't know if there's somebody who lives like very almost like seducing people and then being like, no, no, because you had like pussycat dolls and buttons and things like this. So it's like being really seductive and like drawing someone in and then being like, let me go. I don't know who this is. But again, it could be some kind of like performance in some sort of way. I was kind of getting performance anxiety as well. So at one point yesterday in work, I had to like just stop working and kind of like crouch down and just breathe. And my friend was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And after a minute, I said, "I don't think it's me. I think I'm feeling somebody else having a panic attack because this is something that's happened to me. I've experienced it a few different times where friends of mine will be having a panic attack or be having some sort of wobble, and I'll feel it. It's like I get the physical symptoms. When my nana was poorly, I had the physical symptoms. So I had to kind of like sit there and breathe through it and be like, this isn't my anxiety. I was just chopping some vegetables. I was like perfectly happy, and this wave of anxiety came over me. So I feel like somebody could have had an anxiety attack, been very breathless as well. I'm getting a lot of things about take my breath away. You leave me breathless, all this kind of thing. Also, I heard anaphylactic shock. So if you do have allergies, be super duper careful. Make sure you carry any medication that you need to take. Also, I was kind of getting mites. So there could be something about dust mites. So bit of a warning there for everybody. Just be super careful if that's something that affects you. So where was I going with that? So yeah, performance anxiety. So somebody could be like could be acting some kind of like love scene or something and be very nervous about that. And so yeah, I was getting this kind of like Days of Our Lives soap opera, is it called telenovela? Kind of like, like when it's, like a soap opera, it's kind of like real life, but it's like hyper inflated, like it's really over the top. Like my cousin stole my diamonds and now I have to go on this heist to get them back and marry my doctor's uncle's cousins. It's like really dramatic. So that could be something for someone like, and somebody who loves the drama as well, like somebody who lives their life purposefully in that really dramatic way. I get tired of that. I can't be doing with that, but there you go. Someone could be in love with their co-star, and this could also be something to do with co-star, the astrology app, if some of you use that. So yeah, I don't know. But there was something as well about being contrasted with, so this like almost like drama queen. If you think about Lady Gaga in House of Gucci, right, the way that she is in that's kind of what I'm seeing. Somebody who's like, where's their money, and like, I am in the room now. But then it's like, I was also getting a lot of stuff about casual clothes. So I was getting repeated songs that were mentioning, like back-to-back songs that were mentioning blue jeans, knackered Converse and sneakers and like things like this, classic Reeboks. So some of you may know the song that I'm going to mention now because I've said some of the lines from it. But so I don't know if there's something where it's like two people being contrasted, somebody who's very, very glamorous and over the top and somebody who's very, very casual. Or I don't know if I'm really getting Libra moon as well. I don't know if some of you have a Libra moon, because Libra is kind of they can get dressed up, but it's very like comfy clothes, and your moon is like what you're like behind closed doors. So if you've got a Libra moon, you're probably going to want to wear comfy clothes indoors, like when the cameras are off. So again, I don't know if it's this thing about the performance aspect of you, the public face, and then behind closed doors being like, oh, surprise, I actually just wear Converse and jeans, something like that. What else have I got? Backstage, behind closed doors, and real you. Yeah. So you got quite a lot of songs. You got the next best American record. There's the word architecture popped out at me. I get the word architecture a lot at the moment. It keeps coming in and out. So somebody could be an architect, somebody could work in architecture, or just, I don't know, maybe doing art and drawing architecture. I see you for who you truly are, what the thousands of girls love. Or it actually says why the thousands of girls love the way that Bill plays his guitar. So we're back to the big guitar thing as well. So somebody could play the guitar and like thousands of girls love it, but somebody sees them for who they truly are, like they see that kind of behind the scenes face. I just want to party with you, taking off my bathing suit. So again, we've got another reference to pools there. you've got a lot of Lana Del Rey, actually. I don't know if somebody's really been listening to a lot of Lana at the moment. You've got video games. It keeps on playing, and I've got multiple versions of this song on my Spotify, and it was almost like every other song was video games. So maybe somebody just, I don't know, works in video games, plays a lot of video games, I don't know. But this concept of everything I do, like, what is it? What's the line? Everything I do, I tell you all the time. Heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all your things you want to do. They say you like the bad girls, honey. Is that true? So, but this idea of all for you, that kind of comes back up again. Blue Jeans, Mariner's Apartment Complex. This one came through really strongly. This was a channel song. It didn't come on over Spotify. And this is coming in with that concept of the boat and the ocean that was in Capricorn and Pisces' reading. So at the end of Pisces' reading, when I was kind of putting the songs on the description box, I was kind of getting this thing about like possibly like a shipwreck or a plane crash. Like, do you know, like a crash at sea, and then like finding the black box? So it was like it was coming through a bit like with Titanic vibes, you know, like a ship at the bottom of the ocean. Now they're giving me underneath the sea, far away from land, that's where I shall be, shaking in the sand, rattling in my rivets, shivering on my deck. I'm just a nervous wreck. So I'm seeing a lot of repeating numbers as well, just to say on the timestamp. I just saw 11:22. So maybe somebody is a nervous wreck. I don't know. But this idea of like raising the ship, like so the shipwreck, and then raising it from the ocean and commanding it back to land, really came through powerfully with that song. So I was kind of also seeing, you know, in The Abyss, which I was talking about in Pisces' reading, at the end of that film, the submarine comes back up to the surface. So it's like this recovery of the ship. Now, when it came into land, this was through meditation and kind of allowing visions to come into me through meditation. It kind of came into land very much like the Golden Hind again, which came out in a previous reading, but I don't know, I can't remember which one. It was a few weeks ago. I had this thing about the Golden Hind, which was Sir Francis Drake's boat, but it was like a big, is it called a galleon? Like a big kind of 15th, 16th century boat, and gold. And because in this vision it was like really stormy still, like there's lightning and waves crashing and things, it was like it was protected inside a bottle. So I don't know if somebody literally has a ship in a bottle, maybe a replica of the Golden Hind inside a bottle. It could be symbolic in some sort of way for, I was thinking like the golden ship sounds like, was it Aquarius had it? The golden ship, it's like again, if this is like a launch party or something, it's like shipping the product, like, and it being perfect. It's like, you know, what everybody desires is to have this golden ship. I don't know. I don't know if it makes any sense. But it came through as well with, it kind of switched and became the stag as well, right? Because it's like the Golden Hind. So I saw this gold, like stag Patronus. So it does come through for Capricorn a lot, but it doesn't have to be that sign. And it is kind of like Emperor energy as well. So I don't know, Aries, if you're the Golden Hind, right? I don't know if you're the Golden Stag in some sort of way where perhaps you're doing something where a lot of people are jealous of you, or, you know, you're doing something that other people can't pull off, or you're doing something that is like really important or big, something like this. But and then I'm getting like sabotage. So it's like, well, why would somebody sink the golden ship, right? And it's like, because sabotage. So I was kind of getting a couple of references to insurance type things. So I was watching a film with Adam Sandler, The Do-Over, I think it's called. It's like a really silly comedy film, and they do sink a ship in that film for that purpose. And what else was the other reference that I was getting? Like the Titanic. So there's a conspiracy theory that because the Titanic was like a brand new ship, the sister ship of the Titanic, which was kind of like an older version, but it looked identical, but it kind of had like some holes in it, and it was like leaking and things like this. So what they did was they took the decor from the Titanic and put it on the sister ship, and then they sank intentionally the sister ship to claim on the insurance, and then they had like this brand new like perfect ship that they were passing off as the other ship. Like the Titanic was like, do you see, they did like a switcheroo with the ships. So I don't know if that's symbolic in some sort of way or metaphorical for anyone, but I thought I'd throw it out there. So what else have you got in terms of songs? You're lost at sea, I'll command your boat to me again. Alejandro, the fame monster. So be careful if any of you are chasing fame. You know, the fame monster really stood out to me. Buttons by Pussycat Dolls. You know, what did they say? You've been saying all the right things all night long, but I can't seem to get you over here to help me take this off. It's like somebody has this attitude of like, why aren't you attracted to me? It's the way it's coming through. Like, why don't you want me? It's like, I know I'm hot. Like, why? Like, I can tell you like me. Why aren't you over here? It's like that kind of thing. A Certain Romance by Arctic Monkey. So that's where the knackered Reeboks was coming from. Causing a Commotion by Madonna. You met your match when you met me. I know that you would disagree, it's crazy, but opposites attract, you see, and I won't let you get away that easy. So opposites attract gave me Paula Abdul, and that scene where she's like dancing with the cartoon cat, and of course Paula Abdul was a host or a judge on one of the America's Got Talent type programs, so it's kind of come full circle there again. So again, I feel like somebody could be going into some kind of talent contest, but this idea again of like, you've met your match when you met me, it's like, and again, I'm getting this feeling of like co-stars that are, I don't know what it is. But then Cellophane by FKA Twigs, I Get Overwhelmed, which talks about going down in the ocean. Didn't I Do It For You, When All I Do Is For You. So, didn't I do it for you? Like, am I not turning you on? It's like really like, it's really weird. And then Everything I Do Is For You, again, that kind of concept. They're waiting, watching, hating, hoping I'm not enough. So again, it could be that if this is like some situation where perhaps there is somebody who is kind of golden, right? Like the person who's perhaps like super famous, and then the co-star is like not as famous. It could be that everybody's waiting for that relationship to fail or that person to mess up, or even actively sabotaging them because they're jealous, because it's like this other person's really in demand. So I don't know, it seems really low vibrational, but it's what's coming through, so I want to mention it just so you could watch out. You also had Look What You Made Me Do, which is a Taylor Swift song, but this is the Jack Leopards and the Dolphin Club version. Look What You Made Me Do got a list of names, and yours is in red underlined. Now what's interesting is you also had Red by Jaguar Sun next to this, so the word red has come through twice in those two songs, and Jaguar and Leopards, so Jaguars and Leopards could be something for somebody. I'll Be the Actress starring Your New Bad Dream, so again you've got this actress thing. And your advice was good enough by Maisie Peters, because I was like, somebody needs some advice, because this seems like a whole level of BS. So let me, I don't know. Again, I don't know if somebody's chasing somebody. So, Good Enough by Maisie Peters. I guess I took it for granted you'd bury me someday. All the big plans I planted while you planned your own escape. Never thought I was the greatest, but I was great for you. I just assumed I was your favourite with no one else to choose. I tried to kiss your face, you turn away. No one ever taught me the protocol. What do you do when the good guys change their mind? Because I used to think that if I tried my best, I'd always win. But I'll still sit in your favourite dress and ask you where you've been. People don't leave people if they're really in love. I was good, I just wasn't good enough. So, yeah, I don't know. Seems a bit messy. So let's get to your cards and kind of see what's going on for you. So first of all, I want to ask, actually, do you know, I'm just going to tune back into the energy and drink some water just to kind of get ready, and then we'll go into it. Oops, sorry, no, you've got a couple more. You've got Running Out of Roses by Alan Walker as well. Oh my God, did we go too far? Did we waste it all like we're running out of roses? Plastic Cups. So again, I don't really like being at a party or a club, right? You have plastic cups. Did we laugh enough? Looking back now, that everything is over. So again, it's like maybe like a wrap party, everything's over. And it's like, oh, did we make the most of our time together? That kind of thing. But the video to this, again, I've been seeing this kind of like, this motorcycle guy in a couple of the different readings. I've been mentioning this like motorcyclist all in black, so I'm just going to kind of show you the image from the music video to that song. There you go. So it's like this kind of like Tron thing that they've got going on. And again, it's like this black motorcyclist. And then this image really popped out at me because it's like a finish line. So again, maybe somebody's like a runner or somebody's been racing, or again, there's something that needed to wrap up. There was like a time that this needed to finish at. So I've got 4 minutes left. It actually says 4 minutes left on the screen at this point in the video. And oh, hi, it's me. Oh no, you saw me like with no makeup on. No. Yeah, it's like 4 minutes left, and I keep on getting that song 4 Minutes by Madonna and Justin Timberlake as well. And then it says, "Are you ready for the next challenge?" So I don't know what that is, but it could be something for somebody. Oh my God, did we go too far? 4 minutes left. I don't know. Oh, and I also got Hever Castle, which is the home of Anne Boleyn. It's like this beautiful, beautiful castle. Like if you picture like a Tudor castle in your mind, like that's exactly what it looks like. It's got a feckin' moat and everything. It's gorgeous. So that could be something for somebody as well. Okay. Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. You seem quite sexy. You seem quite fun, daring, but maybe a bit over dramatic, dare I say it. Again, that could be like a performance, you know, behind closed doors. You may actually be a little bit more down to earth, perhaps. I don't know. Who is Aries in this reading today? Thank you. Justice. Okay, so again, going back to feeling handcuffed. So the law, you could be dealing with the law. You could be you could have, again, I sense somebody could have a Libra moon. Somebody could have a Libra moon. Fair, honest, you feel justified in whatever you're doing. You feel like you are doing things with integrity. You feel balanced, or you want to bring balance into a situation. Some of you are like, nope, not me. If it's not you, it can be somebody around you. Again, cross watchers watch these readings, so just kind of take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. You could be dealing with the courts. You could be dealing with contracts. Yeah, let's see. So you're coming through as Justice. I really like the Justice card. I'm Libra. It's a Libra card. So I like the values that the Justice card carries. It also talks about things that happen behind closed doors, in terms of, like, you know how the jury retires to make a decision. So this is why she has the veil in the background there, because that curtain, because it protects the privacy of the people who are making the decisions, right? So it's like not everything has to be made public. Some things are allowed to be private, is kind of the message there. But again, you've got this message of, like, with the fame monster, I think there's a message there about, you know, the saying that when we pass over, our soul gets weighed against a feather to see how light it is. And they're balanced, aren't they? They are actually balanced in this. Just be careful about greed. You know, you don't want to be too greedy and tip those scales in the wrong direction. Okay. What's going on? What's the situation, please, at the moment for Aries? What do we need to know for Aries? Thank you. The Healer and Kairos. So this is truth. Okay, so you could be speaking some kind of profound truth at the moment, or you could be realizing some deep, deep truth about yourself. Because again, justice is truth, integrity, the justice system, healing the justice system in some sort of way, or healing a situation by speaking a truth. Okay, let's have a bit of a read if I can find my book. There it is. The healer, the light worker, the gifted, the old soul. Although some claim the work of the healer as their gift and name it as their dharma, the force of this archetype is within everyone. It is our natural inclination to remember, to return to, and reclaim that central and eternal life force from which we so easily drift away. In Sanskrit, the word avidya means forgetting, and it is said that this is the source of all suffering and disease. The healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal that radiance that already exists. This does remind me of Pisces' reading with the deep sea astronaut, was the way it came through. So I don't know if you've watched the movie The Abyss, but there's a bit in that where the the main character is kind of like, or one of the main characters is kind of like going down into this really deep trench, and it's like deeper than people can naturally physically go. So they have all these kind of like special things to enable him to be able to do it. But it came through in a vision as I was meditating for Pisces, and it was talking to me about, because water and oceans always to me symbolize memories and our own psyche, right? Our own consciousness. So going down to a really deep place where it feels uncomfortable to go to, it feels unnatural to explore that part of yourself or explore those memories, there's resistance there, right? You want to go back up, because it's like, as the further down you get, the colder it is and the more dense the water is, so you feel that uncomfortable compression. So it's metaphorical, but it's like going to those places because you know that, yes, it's uncomfortable to do that, but in doing so, you're going to find, you're going to discover new parts of yourself, right? That you can integrate and you can heal and you can use as a resource to help heal others. So yeah, it's like going to those places inside yourself that are really difficult to go to. But of course, do it in your own time, do it with support. You know, you will know when it feels right to do that. So yeah. Maybe some of you do work in like therapy or something like this as well. The healer approaches this in multiple ways from multiple angles, knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is a multi-layered and circuitous process, always leading back to its own origin, much like the Ouroboros. When light, self-contained, grateful and awake. The wounded healer is not someone who was wounded and is now healed. It is someone who continues to courageously break open the self and the ego as a means for deep integration. That's interesting. So like not having this idea of like people who are broken or people who are healed, but recognizing that, you know, our soul is undergoing a continuous process of growth on this earth. And every time we kind of solve one profound part of ourselves, there's always something new to discover. It's like the more doors you open, the more doors you find that are there to be opened. The image of the serpent is eternally tied to healing and medicine, both Western, the Kadakas, and Eastern, the Kundalini. Story of the serpent and its power. So I was picking up on this very, in the vision where it was like, I'll command your boat to me again. Mariner's Apartment Complex. I love that song so much. It's like, you took my sadness out of context at the Mariner's Apartment Complex. I ain't no candle in the wind. So it's like understanding that maybe about yourself, maybe about others, where, you know, yes, you're allowed to cry, yes, you're allowed to be sad, and this does not mean that you're weak. It actually means that you're very powerful if you can embrace those emotions and use them as fuel to empower you, like to move forward and to take action and get things done. So like embracing all that. So it really is, to me, there's a lot of second chakra energy coming through, especially with the references to like jaguars and panthers. It's kind of got this kind of like drawing from your roots, like drawing from your past to pull it into that kind of sea of like divine sexuality and sacred like sacred power and creativity within you, and kind of really manifesting from that place, you know, really recognizing the power of the second chakra. So some of you could be doing that kind of sexual healing thing. I think Pisces had a little bit of that, and then Kairos. But this is like I think, if I remember rightly, I think it's like a profound truth. Or is it mythic time? Wow, mythic time. Now it's making me think of, in Pisces' reading, I was talking about black holes and how when you get past, it's interesting, you've got this kind of, almost like the event horizon depicted as these kind of circular motifs on these cards. So as you get into, so it's spherical, right? It's not a 2D flat thing, it's spherical. As you get closer to a black hole and you actually get past the event horizon, the black hole will start to, the gravitational pull and the density of it will actually start to shape the galaxy around it in this kind of like spiral pattern. So they do say that black holes are kind of like the architects. People think of them as destructive, but they actually form the shape of the universe. Like they are the architects of the solar system. So understanding something differently, as not dark or destructive, but as a force to shape your world, could be something. But mythic time, so when you go into, I was talking about this in Pisces' reading, when you go into a black hole, not that I've ever done that, right, but the theory is that when you go into a black hole, you stop measuring existence in terms of time, and you start to measure existence in terms of space. So the rules of physics don't work in the same way, I believe. So that's kind of, with these two together, that's kind of what that's giving me. This kind of, because it was talking about the circuitous process of healing, right? It's not linear. It's something where you kind of go back over and go back over, and you integrate and you reshape, and you keep doing this. And then with this mythic time as well, synchronicity. We have all had the experiences of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. And that's funny as well, because a couple of us were saying yesterday in work, it was really, really, really busy. And normally when it's busy, time appears to go faster. It's like you... Okay, I'm getting a really funny message. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But we were all saying, it's like we all were looking at the clock and thinking, it should be later than it is. It feels like it's been hours, right? So it's like looking at the clock and thinking it was going to be 3 o'clock and it was 1 o'clock. So this weird feeling of like time slowing down and doing, you know, so much more because we were so busy. So the amount of stuff we were physically doing in that space of time felt like time had compressed. So excuse me. So there's something as well here about what I'm seeing suddenly is, imagine entering this, it could go either way. Imagine this snake, this three-headed snake being a wormhole, right? And then this is like being inside the snake. Can you see? Because it's all scales. So it's almost looking to me like, if you imagine you were going through a tunnel in space, right? And it's like this metaphor of like a massive snake. It's like you could come in at one point and exit from any of these 3 points, or you could go in any of these 3 points and exit from the same point. So there's something about, maybe there's something about like parallel dimensions, or I mean, maybe it could just be like a subway system or something, right? Like like the tube. But it's like going in at one point and again, this idea of synchronicity. So it could be you and others, like all going into, I don't know, call it a subway station to make it less otherworldly and more practical. Like you and 2 other people going into a subway station at different platforms, but all ending up on the same train. If you want to talk like sliding doors and things like that, it kind of has, and because this talks about synchronicity, does have that kind of feeling to it. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels like, you know, like pivot points where you have a decision point to make, where you can branch in different directions. So maybe you're weighing up some options here. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it's all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. When light, alignment, easing decisions and actions. When dark, fighting against time. That's interesting because I basically, as soon as I closed out Pisces' reading, your messages started to come in. And I remember Pisces, I had this frustration because I had a load of messages for them and then they kind of went quiet and the cards wouldn't speak. So even though I had intuitive messages, the cards went silent. So I had to wait until the cards started talking again to be able to do their reading. And then as soon as I did their reading, finally, it's like Aries energy started speaking. And so I was frustrated because if I leave the reading, when I start to get the intuitive messages, it's like I really want to get them out. Otherwise they kind of like, I get kind of that overwhelm. And I mean, I make notes and things to kind of get it out of my head, but I still get the kind of overwhelm of messages. And if I leave it too long, I start to see the intuitive messages playing out. And so already I kind of woke up this morning and I'm already seeing the intuitive messages that I got on Saturday are starting to play out. Like I see them on social media, I see them on the news. So it's frustrating for me as a reader and as an intuitive, because I want to say what I'm getting before it manifests, because otherwise I think people are going to think that I'm just, repeating what they're posting or something like that. And that's frustrating to me, because I think it's important to me, and maybe this is something I need to let go of as well, and this could be something for you, so anything that comes up in a reading is part of the reading, but I do feel like that it's important to me to be believed that, I'm getting these messages first before they come out for other people. So I have to be clear as well, like, I'm very, very honest. Again, Justice card, Libra energy. It's like, I do intend to be honest. So with the thing about the finish line, Santaro's been getting that. And again, this is a thing I noticed with multiple readers. Will all get the same intuitive messages. We'll all be talking about the same metaphors. So Santaro has been talking about this finish line in her readings. And then that's why it was really surprising to me to see it with this kind of this biker that I've been seeing in my intuitive messages. And then Awakening to Spirit and Santaro have been talking about ships and oceans. I think in Awakening to Spirit's Cancer reading, she was talking about ships. I haven't watched the whole of that reading, but I just kind of was watching a little bit of it on my break at work. And then Santaro as well, in her, I want to say Aquarius reading, was also talking about oceans and things like this. And it's really curious to me how, I mean, it shouldn't be, right? We're all connected to the same collective consciousness, so of course we're going to get the same motifs, but I don't know, it's really important to me, I think, because I'm such a small reader, that I don't know, like, I kind of want everybody to understand, because I get stuff and then it plays out and it shocks me. So it's like, I want people to understand that this is really happening, But again, like, why do I have that need? Why don't I release this? And if people believe me, they believe me. And if they don't, they don't. Like, it doesn't really matter. There's something in that, I guess, for everybody as well. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. Fighting against time. Compare the Greek words chronos and kairos. This will guide you to an understanding of logos and mythos. I mean, I understand logos and mythos. Logos is like, or being an orator, like to speak, to be able to speak in a way that persuades. Like logic-based speak is the way I would describe it. And then for me, mythos is, because I've done essays on all of this. I studied classics as part of my humanities degree. I've got a specialism in classics. Mythos literally means story. So we use the word myth to mean untrue, right? Something that's mythology, something that's a story that's made up, it's not real. The Greeks didn't use mythos in this way. They used it to mean a tale. And a lot of the time it was an over-the-top tale, an exciting tale, a tale full of bravado and heroes and gods and monsters. But it didn't necessarily mean it was untrue. You could also have somebody who's a brilliant storyteller, but they're talking about things that really happened. So mythos was just an epic story, a really interesting story, or just storytelling in general, not true or untrue. And logos was persuasive speech. So sometimes when people are telling a story, there can be a moral to that story. So that would be logos and mythos at the same time. A logical story, or a story written to persuade. I don't know if that's important to anyone. Again, maybe because of storytelling, maybe seeing the world as a stage and seeing how I think, again, to be honest, like, I think Santaro had something about this, and I think I'd been picking up in my readings previously, and then when she said it, I was like, yeah, I'm getting that too. But she was talking about how, sometimes when we see outside of the box, sometimes when we see how storytelling, like TV shows and films and books and music videos, they condition us to think certain things or act a certain way, whether it's a conscious thing or an unconscious thing. And then again, this is going back to the ancient Greeks, who purposefully questioned what kind of stories they should tell children. This is Plato, I believe. Was it Plato or Aristotle? one or the other. I think it was Plato, and he was saying, should we really be teaching our children these stories about the gods doing awful things, because doesn't that make them think, I want to be like the gods, I want to also do awful things? So there was this questioning of the use of storytelling in society to condition society. So if you think that all these people who, these rich people who are privileged and they went to Oxford and Cambridge and, these posh universities, and, they're all in these like clubs like the Bullingdon Club, and they all studied classics like Boris Johnson. If you think that these people who are running our countries didn't study classics and go, oh, hey, storytelling, maybe we want to condition society through storytelling. And this is why I get upset at the Avengers movies, because of the Avengers movies really promote war, and they really promote the military and things like this. And for me, I watch those and I sit there and I think, are they conditioning us? Are they conditioning us to expect certain things? So we take our children to watch these movies, right? Like, you're going to be the hero. I do question, and I do have a lot of cynicism when it comes to what values are being promoted through big budget movies and television shows and things like this. You could look at The Crown as a perfect example, the TV show The Crown. I haven't watched it, but it is I don't actually know. It would be interesting to look at who is behind that TV series, and what are they promoting, or what are they glorifying, and what are they saying is a bad thing, or who are they saying is a bad thing, and who funded that TV show, who produced that TV show, and what are their loyalties. So it could be quite interesting to ask why are we being shown this through storytelling. The word evil comes from the root unripe. Consider that everything has a time of ripeness, when it becomes a nourishing fruit, sweet to the lips. Okay. So let's have a look. So what is going on for Aries then, please? Let's have a bit of a deeper dive into your energy. Okay. I'm going to pull 9 cards, hopefully 9. And there's that truth. Oh, hello, King of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. Lovers. I'll kind of explain, what's that doing in there? That's curious. That shouldn't be there, should it? 3 of Wands. Somebody could be waiting for you to make a decision, or waiting to show up. There's interesting sneakiness there. You've got truth and sneakiness together. Very, very curious. Oh, what is going on with you? Oh, what is going on with you? Oh my God, look at this spread. You can't see it all. I will show you. You've got quite a lot going on here, Aries. Okay. So you've got 4 major arcana. You've got the Lovers, the Star, the Tower, and the Sun. This is emotions, thoughts, action space. So 3 major arcana in your action space. There's probably something really big and dramatic happening for you in your life right now with that Tower card there. This is something to do with your wishes, your sense of happiness and freedom. Whatever's happening, whatever that Tower moment is, and it's going to be something dramatic. You could feel like the rug is pulled out from underneath your feet. You could get a piece of information that is really shocking to you. I want to say it's for your ultimate good, because you have it. What follows the Tower is the Sun. Now, it could be that you're instigating this Tower moment because you feel something in your heart space here. You feel an emotional truth. You have clarity on something. And you could be speaking this truth and really actually activating that Tower moment. You could actually be causing this Tower moment to roll in. So whatever happens, and whatever the reason is that you're doing this, it's going to lead to the Sun card. Now, the Sun card represents freedom, being out in the open. So it's also clarity and things coming to light. So I do feel like there could be something that's a bit of a shock happening in your physical world. Like, this is something that is like manifesting in the tangible environment. So something, piece of information that you're hearing, something in the news, something that is that you're saying, but it's not something you're feeling or thinking, it's something that's actually happening. But yeah, it's going to lead to a sense of clarity, a sense of freedom, a sense of happiness. The Sun card is the happiest card in the deck. And you've also got in the underlying, you've got the Nine of Cups, which is personal happiness. So it's a card of celebration, and it's a card of emotional fulfillment without needing to be clingy to anyone else. So it's like, you know how to make you feel good. And I feel like you're doing something that is making you feel good. Because you also, what's before this Tower is the Star card. Now, the Star card is a card about hopes and dreams and wishes, and also healing. So it's a guiding light for us to follow. It's something that's aspirational. So something comes into your actual tangible reality. Something manifests, and it's like a dream come true. This Tower activates, and then you get happiness. So I feel like almost like something's falling into your lap, but it is causing some chaos and drama. Now, what could be falling into your lap could be some kind of romantic connection with the Lovers card here. Now, the Lovers card is in your thoughts. So I see it in this past position because it moves from right to left. So the past position, the initial position, you could be deciding between different people, or you could be thinking, I want to choose something that feels right for me. I want to choose something that maybe is not logical, but it's a heartfelt choice. So it doesn't have to be a person, but it could very well be with the Lovers card. So you could be saying, do you know what? I know who I want to be with, because it's in your thoughts, right? So I know who I want to be with. I know who I want to choose. This feels divinely guided, perhaps. This feels like a dream come true. I'm going to go ahead and speak my truth and get out of there and go and do some cool shit. So it could be that. Emotionally, though, here you are feeling very independent. So you feel like you have the independent spirit to be able to make these heartfelt choices. You don't feel tied down to anyone or anything. You could be single, or you could just have the resources you need to be able to make choices independently. Choices for you, right? The Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. There's, if it was I'm sorry, I'll try and move it a little bit closer. If it was the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, it would be, there'd be other people involved. Pentacles are resources. So the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles would be your tangible environment. So your home, your workplace, your stuff, right? The Nine of Cups talks about emotions. So the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups is good emotions, happiness, feeling good vibes. But the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, it's without needing anyone else. And that doesn't mean that you can't go out and be with somebody else. It just means that you're independent enough to not be codependent, right? You bring your stuff to the table, I want to say, or you have the luxury of being free to do what makes you happy, financially and emotionally, or at least you feel that way, or you did in the past. So you could be single, or you could just be like, yes, I'm in a relationship. Yes, I'm in this workplace, but I feel like I don't feel like I need to, drag someone along with me, or I don't feel like I need to wait for somebody to give me the go ahead, or, wait for somebody to sign off this pay slip. Like, I've got the resources and the emotional maturity to go after my dreams. So that's a really good starting point, Aries. What does worry me a little bit is this Seven of Swords in the center of your reading. So this is in your thoughts, and the Seven of Swords is a card about deception. It is a card about the actual meaning of the card, or the depiction on the card, is somebody stealing swords from a battlefield so they can't be used to injure anyone in battle the next day. So with the Ace of Swords and the Tower, there's a lot of thought that's going into this here, because you've got swords and swords. This is thoughts. So you are recognizing, and swords in your emotions is like recognizing an emotional truth, recognizing having the clarity, recognizing something for exactly what it is. But why you could be recognizing that there is deception in something. So tell me about that Seven of Swords. Clarify that Seven of Swords, please. Thank you. Strength. You could have a connection. It could feel like a soulmate connection with that Six of Cups there. brings you a lot of strength and brings you a lot of support. It could be a connection that really builds your confidence. And it could be a very healing connection as well, because the star card here indicates healing. And you can see here she's kind of mending this lion's paw. So it could be that, again, this is hidden or behind closed doors in some sort of way, or it's something that is... It feels like it goes from being hidden to being revealed, is the way it feels with the Ace of Swords and the Tower and the Sun card. It feels like something being brought out into the open that could have been hidden. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's negative. The Seven of Swords can be negative, but clarified by the Strength card, feels like a hidden source of strength in some sort of way. Or you've been building up your confidence and kind of doing it on the down low in some sort of way, but it's in your thoughts. Perhaps you know exactly what this is, but the Lover's card, yeah, no, it's this person. It's this person. There's somebody really important to you, or something that's really important to you here. It really speaks to your heart. And I feel like you could, I mean, I'm not seeing the moon. Clarify the Lover's judgment. It's like, yeah, this is, look at all these angels. It feels like divinely guided. Or in your thoughts, at least, you think it's divinely guided. You think it's like, you feel like it's like a star that's fallen from the sky and landed in your lap, right? It's like this opportunity for a second chance. Perhaps it's an opportunity for a second chance in love, or a second chance in doing something that you love to do, right? Doing something that feels like a dream come true. It's something you've always wanted, and you're getting another chance at this. With the Judgment card, it's like a revival of something. Again, that idea of like the wreck, the shipwreck, right? Being, it's like this, right? If you're lost at sea, I'll command your boat to me again. Like, I will... It's like just something that is being almost revived by the heavens is how it feels. But it's been... There's some secrecy, or could even be self-deception around this. Like, you don't... Again, if it's as big as it feels, it could feel like a dream come true for you, right? It could feel like, oh my God, I can't believe this is really happening. This feels like it's been sent from heaven. Am I deceiving myself? But there is this truth being recognized here. So what's the Tower then? But whatever happens, whatever's happening here, even if it feels bad, even if you're discovering something about deception, like whatever is happening here at this point in the reading, it feels totally divinely guided. Like the divinity here with the Lover's card twice, the Judgment card and the Star, all symbolize divinity, right? The divine hand at play, whatever that means to you, right? Whatever you see that as. And you have this thing about synchronicity as well, like things lining up, like perfect timing. So, and then whatever happens, it ends with the Sun card, which is, again, the most positive, like high vibrational card you can get. Like, you've got the Star and the Sun in your action space. Could be really shocking. You know, it could be literally like everything you always wanted, or a dream come true, or like, I can't believe this is happening to me, you know? I can't believe it's happening to me. Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. That's Leona Lewis. And again, Leona Lewis won one of those kind of like talent shows. Excuse me, I'm a bit sniffly this morning. What's the Tower? Could be some kind of payout. There's that scales again. You could be winning some kind of court case, court payout. You're coming through as justice. There's something being made equal. There's something being made fair. There's something being made right. She does give me like Mary Poppins energy. She looks to me like the mum in Mary Poppins, like with the kids. So it's like with the books and the money, it could be something like getting a scholarship, right? Getting a scholarship, or getting some kind of course paid for, because knowledge, like the books are knowledge, and like the money, getting an apprenticeship you always wanted, something like that. I'm sorry, I'm just going to pause and just sniffle a second, hold on. Yeah, because here, this Three of Wands, it does symbolize waiting for your ships to come in, right? Waiting for the golden stag, waiting for the golden ship to come in, right? Kind of making me think a little bit of it's a bit of a negative connotation, but it's making me think of Merchant of Venice, right? The guy, he's a merchant, and he's waiting for his ship to come in with his stock, right? Yeah, so, and his ship gets lost at sea. So it could be an insurance payout, and I'm not saying that anyone's scamming anything, but you know, it could be like something like you invested in something, maybe like a house, right? You invested in a house, and you know, something happens to that house, maybe, you know, water damage, and you know, you can't, you know, it was irreparable, and at one point you were like, oh my god, I don't have anywhere to live, like I, you know, that was my home, that was my house, like what am I going to do? But it's like, then you get the insurance payout, and you're like, oh my god, I can actually, you know, this is better than expected. Or maybe it's like, oh, actually, do you know what, I feel like I could use this and invest in something else. It's like giving you freedom in a way. So it feels like it could be something like that. But why is the King of Pentacles in the reverse? Because the King of Pentacles in the reverse, and this is in your emotions. So this could be somebody who's really greedy. It could be somebody who, because the King of Pentacles in the upright, he kind of like knows the value of money. Like he's good at what he does. He's very skilled. He earns his, you know, he earns his position through applied practical knowledge and experience and things like this, and all good stuff. But in the reverse, it's like somebody who's too greedy, or a bit of a Scrooge, right? Somebody who overspends, or because the kings tend to hold back, I would say that the Queen of Pentacles would be more likely to overspend. The King of Pentacles is more likely to be a Scrooge, right? Controlling with money. But it could be divorce for some of you, because you're coming through as Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and this whole court stuff, waiting for a payout. And the King of Pentacles can indicate a husband, or a business partner as well. It could be some sort of business investment, and you know, you're not going to be playing that role anymore, or you don't want to play that role anymore. You don't want to be attached, because the King of Pentacles is attached, and you're showing as unattached or independent. What's the King of Pentacles? The Hierophant. Yeah, so again, the Hierophant is a card about marriage. And it's showing in the upright. So what's that? I'm a bit scared to turn these cards over and see what they are. So the Hierophant being a card about marriage, but also institution, right? So I would say the Hierophant could be grandfather, and this could be father. I don't know. Interesting, he's got these children. I don't know, perhaps your dad, right? Granddad's taking care of the kids. So you don't have to play the role of dad, because granddad's going to look after the kids while you go on some sort of trip or something. You know, this card indicating freedom. The Emperor, oh my god, and the Six of Swords. Oh my god. Wow, what is going on for you, Aries? Oh my god, this reading. Right, sorry, I'm shifting around on my chair. It sounds like I'm trumping, but I'm not. You end with moving on, like mentally moving on from whatever this was. I had this in one of the readings that I did off camera. It came through with this follow the leader thing, and there was the Emperor and the King of Pentacles from a different deck, like in the underlying, like on the split, the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. And with follow the leader, it was like climbing the career ladder, right? Or you know, they're telling me the student becomes the master. So like you know, perhaps doing some kind of apprenticeship scheme where, you know, you've got a guaranteed career path. So, you know, when the boss retires, you get their job. If it has that feeling to it, because this feels like I mean, it could be something very, very patriarchal. These three cards together, very patriarchal, right? This is like son, father, grandfather, you know. It's institutions, it's workplaces, it's the people who make the decisions. And it doesn't have to be a guy, right? It can be, you know, masculine, feminine, whatever, but they are patriarchal cards. So it does talk about fathers, you know, the pater patris, if we're going to bring in a classics degree, the pater patri. So it's like the father of fathers. We have religion here, we have state. So it could be talking about politics, it could be talking about government, it could be talking about church, it could be talking about a business, a CEO, could be talking about your father and your grandfather. I wonder if there's some kind of family business here and you don't want to follow in the family footsteps, or maybe you're not the king of pentacles anymore because you're going to be the, you know, you're not going to be the supervisor, right? You're not going to be the manager anymore because you're going to be the CEO. It has that kind of feel to it. So God, Aries, I don't know what you're doing, but you've got this thing about moving on, like mentally moving on from whatever this was emotionally. Whatever you're doing, it's funny, Capricorn and Pisces had this whole thing in their readings of, Capricorn was very much in the box, right? They were part of the establishment and they found security and a sense of stability in that. It's like they knew the rules. So it's like the idea of like, well, if I play by the rules, I'm going to get ahead. And then Pisces, like, but Capricorn were not choosing love. Capricorn were choosing the framework, right? The structure. And Pisces had kind of the opposite. Pisces were almost choosing love in a way that was illogical, choosing love in a way that was throwing the rule book out of the window and creating absolute chaos. And you do feel more in line with that. You feel more in line with, this feels like something I'm divinely guided to do. And it could be a real shock with the Tower to perhaps a workplace or to your family, or, you know, whatever the institution is around you. It's like, it could go to, I don't know, it could go two ways. Some of you are climbing that career ladder. Some of you are totally mentally out there. And instead of being part of whatever this framework was, you know, really having this sense of freedom and independence, maybe having to defend yourself because of this. Some of you could just be, yeah, it has that feeling of like not following in your father's footsteps or not following in the traditional business. Yeah, you're coming through with a lot of kind of my classics degree. Well, my classics specialism is coming into play here because, you know, it makes me think of the Cursus Honorum of Rome, which was the framework. It's like how you got ahead, but it was a pyramid, right? It was competitive, and it did involve things like military service, and then you had people like Ovid who opted out of that lifestyle, and he took a more he took a different route where he became this poet and this writer, and he compared love to warfare. He's, you know, he heroicized love and passion, and yeah, you know, he really formed a different route there. But he was still in service to the emperor. You know, he was still writing under Augustus Caesar, and kind of, I mean, he was undermining it, but he was also kind of like shoring up his position. So the Six of Cups, it could be, because it can indicate children, it could be, and it's in your future thoughts, so it could be, what do I do with the kids? Okay, the kids are going to granddad, you know, the kids are going with Mary Poppins, we're going to get a nanny. I don't know, it could be something like that. So there could be concerns about your children, but it could actually be recognizing a soulmate connection as well. And it's nostalgia and it's memories of the past. And what's the Sun card? The Sun card, I almost don't want to ask. It's healing after feeling very, very trapped. So I guess if some of you are getting out of some kind of marriage or work contract, it could have left you feeling extremely trapped. But this feels like because the Four of Swords is healing and it's rest. Feels like almost getting away on a vacation. Like Roman Holiday by Halsey's playing in my head. You know, and it like, perhaps if it's love for you, perhaps because you've got some kind of second chance here, and or some kind of choice. Like, I can't believe the Lovers card's come out twice. So it's like perhaps being in a marriage or some kind of commitment where there were a lot of rules, right? There were a lot of protocol almost. It's making me think of like the royal family, right? I mentioned the crown, if you're going to join this family, these are the terms, these are the rules, this is what we expect of you. Or being in a relationship where there's a lot of expectations. But with the Sun card, it feels like whatever you're going into, because there's two people on this card, right? It's like whatever you're going into feels much freer. Perhaps you're going to have less money. It's kind of a bit scruffy looking, but it feels more, feels happier. Or it's almost something you don't mind getting trapped in because it's healing to you. Because the Four of Swords as well is like rest and rejuvenation and taking care of yourselves. It's like, it could be something like, because you're showing really independent, but also with this sense of contracts, and it could be something like choosing to settle down or choosing to get married, like wanting to be locked into something because you found the right person, right? It's like wanting your freedom in the past, perhaps like, being a bit of a playboy, playgirl in the past, but then finding somebody who makes you so happy. It's like, do you know what? I don't mind getting trapped in this. I want to be trapped in this. Or I want my freedom to fuck around. Knight of Wands. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know, but it feels good. It feels like you're going into something that's Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it feels like you're going into a brand new phase, a brand new cycle. Feels really good for you. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Good reading. Let's get you some advice, I guess. Hold on while I pick a deck for you. I can't believe it's an hour long again. I think I'm going to do short readings and then I just waffle on too much. So what's the advice, please? What's the advice, please? Do you remember what I said right at the beginning about the ship in the bottle? Message in a bottle. Do you know, it has that feeling. What's that song where he's like, I put my love in a bottle and I'll go to the beach, and something, pain and sorrow washes over me. If it's you, it'll come back to me. Right? It's like, it feels like something's coming back around for you, especially with that Judgment card. Message in a bottle, essential meanings. Communication, a sign, a cladon, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. So your oracle message. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them. When you believe, you will receive them. And when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens, they may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're being pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might, my heart just pounded, for someone might just say the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this. Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. Yes, Aries. Relationship message. So for those of you who, like, it's absolutely love, right? Or relationships. You can expect someone to favor you with positive news. Again, this could be the news coming in. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come out of it in the end. All the signs are there. So for those of you who this is about career or money, you're going to get the prosperity message. You are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny, and Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or business contract that will lead you closer to your dreams and greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you. So we did have this thing as well through meditation of, or like, it's kind of like a dream meditation thing. And it was like I was meeting all these people that I've never met in person before. And I was like, really excited to be meeting people face to face. So again, there could be something where there's some kind of event for you where you're going to get to meet people face to face. Maybe you've been working from home and you know you've never met your colleagues before, and it's like you're going to get to meet them. There could be something like that happening for you as well. But I'm not actually seeing an event. I'm not seeing the Four of Wands. So, and I'm not seeing the Ace of Pentacles. So I don't know. Interesting. If you feel comfortable sharing, I'd love to know if this is actually playing out for you and resonating, and how this plays out for you, because I feel like it could go different ways for different Aries and different people, but it looks really fun. It looks really fun. And I want to say with the Knight of Wands, it's like go out and have fun, go out and have a good time, especially if you're like recently single. It's like, do you know what? Like go and, you know, in a way where you're not hurting anyone or, you know, messing with anyone else's feelings. But if you want to go out and party, go out and party, right? I don't know. All right, let's get you a song, and then I'm going to upload your reading and get on with my day, and maybe put some makeup on, because I've actually got a big spot on my lip today. I woke up with a big spot on my lip, which is kind of sexy because it's like, it's giving me this really like pouty bottom lip, but at the same time, it's like a big spot on my lip. It's kind of gross. Right, okay. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe just be careful about coleslaws. Maybe be careful about cold sores. I don't have a cold sore. It's a spot, but like maybe that's something for somebody. Okay. I'm trying to pull you a song, but I'm getting tearing off tights with my teeth. What's that from? I can't get no sleep. Tearing off tights with my teeth. The epiphany, the light bulb moment, the tower moment for Aries. What have we got for Aries? One love. People get ready. Bob Marley and the Wailers. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel all right. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't. You're all coming together. Aries, go out and have fun, but not too much fun. Wear protection, and take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends.